Hey, this is Marco from XANDRIA, and you're watching That Metal Interview.
On this path, our story we ride, scars of 1,000 storms. We've just begun to reach for the light. War has been cast on our shores. In the darkest of times, we do hold each other's hands. A tyrant we see, a time his dreams, killing for vanity. Old bones stay stained with fire that rains down on the jewels of east. We will stand like the mountains. We'll defy till the end. There's nothing I feel, we stand side by side. There's nothing I can't endure, we're guiding lights. Once we're free again, we will overcome. We will bury the past and belong. We will be one with the stars.
That Metal Interview.
Okay, so we'll start by welcome to the podcast. Appreciate your presence here and your acceptance of the invitation.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Marco of XANDRIA, for those of you just joining us, tuning in, we are here to promote Eclipse, which we'll get to in a bit, dropping August 7th. First of all, where are you, Marco? What part of the world?
I'm in Germany right now, which is my home country.
Germany.
Mhm.
Okay. I thought you lived in Sweden, but you're in Germany. Okay.
Yeah, but no one in the band lives in Sweden, so you might mistake it with another band probably. Our singer comes from France originally. She's half French, half Greek. But the
Hungry.
rest of us is from Germany. Mhm.
Okay, we'll get to her in a bit too. I've got a couple of questions. I won't keep it too long. I'll keep the interview short. Talk to us about your start in music, Marco. What made you pick up a bass guitar, a guitar, or any type of instrument?
Yeah, I think that was mostly my father. He was playing the guitar when I was a kid, and seeing that was showing me that making music is something that you can do yourself. It's not just the people on television or that you hear on the records. And after becoming a fan of some of the bands that I got to know in that time, I was starting to do that too.
Cool. So, can you name some bands that first got your attention as far as rock, hard rock, heavy metal goes?
Yeah, my father was listening to a lot of 70s hard rock at the time, like Deep Purple, Black Sabbath. There was Jimi Hendrix also, for sure. That's his favorite. And Pink Floyd, very important influence for me. Finally, I got into ABBA by someone who introduced me to that band, which is a complete different thing, of course. But it's interesting because it gave me both the power of rock music, the heaviness of some darker kind of rock music, from the likes of Black Sabbath, but also, the sweet side, from ABBA, the sweet voice, the
Yeah.
sweet
Yeah.
vibe of it. That was also influencing me at that time, probably, and later got picked up again when I was listening to film scores, and I was influenced by bands like The Gathering in the 90s. These metal bands that came from death, doom, black metal like Tiamat, Paradise Lost, and who partially or completely introduced a female singer on the mic. And I think that was the last thing that really got me onto that track that I've been on since then. Metal music, but with a lot of atmosphere, with some sweeter storytelling side to it, but still also the dark sides of it, because it's like life, it has both sides. So I also always wanted to express it in my music.
Exandria pops up around what year? How long has it been around for people that don't know?
Yeah, it's a bit hard to pick one year, because it's the beginnings of a band are sometimes a little bit hard to grasp. And since when has it been that band that people later knew as that band? I had the idea for the band's name, XANDRIA, in I think 95 or 96 something. At that time I was just jamming with some friends, and but it was only years later that I was really seriously forming a band around that, and what at that time really was my musical vision that I was seeing quite clearly then was maybe around 99 or 2000.
So about 26 years, give or take.
Yeah.
When I first ran into your band years ago, I thought it was a woman or a girl because of the name Exandria, right? And then I looked into it.
Yeah.
It's a symphonic metal, right? So where does the name come from, and why Exandria? It's cool to me now,
Yeah. I think I got it from the ancient Egyptian city called Alexandria, and somehow I just cut off the ale in the beginning of the name, and I thought I found a really cool word that has not been used before. At least it wasn't in music. There was no other band at that time, but I remember when I was trying to register the domain xandria.com. I think it was around the year 2000. I found that it had already been taken, not by anything related to music, but it was an adult toy mail order, which of course, was letting me hope that people would not be like connecting these two things together too much in the future, and fortunately they have not. So yeah, we got to stick to the domain xandria.de, which is for Germany until today, because the com is still taken, although I think that mail order is not existing anymore for years. But you know how it is, they keep those domains until someone asks so they can sell it for a shitload of money. And
people do that.
And I won't do that. Yeah, and I won't do that because nowadays fans are much more on the social media anyway.
Yeah, people do that, huh? They buy what you just said. They buy domains and things and they sell it, wow. But that's business. To some people, it's money and business. So I guess, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's more or less honorable ways of making money in the world. That's how I see it. But after all, it's a business, of course.
It's true. Eclipse dropping August 7th. Marco, where does that name come from? There is one other album that's called Eclipse, and it's one of my favorite Malmsteen records. That dropped in 1990. Ingve Malmsteen. So yours is Eclipse.
Right.
And what?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, our other guitarist, Rob, he's a big Malmsteen fan, but I don't know anything about him at all, I have to say.
Okay. Yeah.
Apart from seemingly being a difficult person, the rumors people tell, but I was never into the more technical side of music. For me, it always needed to have a lot of emotions, and for that, I love a guitar player like David Gilmour much more than anyone who is just fast as fuck, and I'm not that interested in that. Yeah, I need to feel something. Yeah.
Yeah, after a while, you're like, yeah, me too. I'm like, after a while, I mean, okay, he's fast, and after a while, it's like, okay, let's change it. It's too much. He's too fast.
Yeah.
So anyway,
so I didn't know the album title was taken by Malmsteen already.
Well, yeah, well, it's
But
not a.
but I know an album that I also really love. But I was only remembering that after we already did it, and we were, like setting everything on its way for our album to have that name. That's the Amorphis album from 2006, I think. Great album. Amorphis is also a favorite band of mine. I really love them.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it was only later that I thought, okay, they have that name too.
It's
But
okay. I mean,
I mean, I don't think it's a big problem. It's
No,
after
no.
all, it's not that easy to find names or album titles or song titles even that are like super original that no one ever came up with. You just you have that idea, and then you type it into Spotify, and then you see, already 50 songs, right? Okay.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. It is
know.
an awesome title. Actually, it's one of my favorite Malmsteen records, and then I saw you guys with it, and I was like, oh wow, nice. And I have 2 Eclipse now. So
Cool. Yeah.
talk about this
But
record.
yeah, sure. I mean, for me, it has a different meaning probably anyway than it had for albums that already had that name. I mean, what it is like the moon is, it's shifting in front of the sun, so you don't see the sun's light anymore, which is for me a symbolization of something that can happen to civilization.
Yeah.
Like our civilization that has come a long way, like developing things that I think we can all agree on, that things like introduction of democracy is good, that abolition of slavery is good, that every citizen can rely on laws being valid for everyone equally, and not just for some who are in power or have the money. These kind of things. It has been a centuries-long fight from people who were having these ideals of humanism and respect, empathy for other people. We have come a long way, and we still have a long way, or had. I had the feeling that we reached a good point, like in the last 1-2 decades. And now I have the feeling that there's some dark thing shifting in front of that sun that civilization is. And that gave me that picture. And as many songs on that album deal with these kind of topics, I found it's a nice picture. It's a nice symbol for an album title.
Yes, the album cover is also cool. I like the cover. I like the title. The songs that I've heard so far. North Star, my favorite. It's awesome.
A tyrant we see, the tiny streams, killing for vanity. Old bones they stayed with fire that rains down on the jewels of east. We will stand like the mountains. We'll defy till the end.
I read somewhere that you got that melody in a dream for the song North Star. Is that true? And can you talk about that?
Yeah, definitely. I was waking up in the middle of the night, like having, it's rare, but it happens sometimes that I am writing a song or having a melody in a dream when I sleep. And most of the times when you wake up, you don't remember it. Or if you remember it, you're like, okay. When in the dream, it seemed like this could be the next big hit, filling stadiums. But when you wake up, you found, it's actually not that great. Or it's already existing or something. But that time, I was waking up, having that melody still in my mind and thinking, oh, that's actually nice. I was super tired, so I was thinking, should I just go back to sleep? Or should I get up and record it? And fortunately, I did the latter. So I pushed myself out of bed and recorded that idea, and only after that I went back to sleep. And it was just, at some point I was picking up that idea and made a whole song out of it, which is usually what I do. I'm usually ideas come to me in the weirdest situations. I'm like, I'm driving a car, I'm on a plane, touring with a band somewhere. It's mostly being in other places, situations, being out there, being with people, having a good time or something like that, that somehow is giving me the spark for new ideas, song ideas, to just come out of nothing, even in situations that have nothing to do with music. And sometimes it's a bit difficult because you don't want to lose that idea, you don't want to forget about it. So I take my phone and I record it, which sometimes gets me into awkward situations, because I need to get up from a table in a restaurant, go somewhere where it's quiet, and everyone's like, okay, what's up with that guy now? Or when I'm having that idea in a car, how dangerous it is to have your phone while you are on a speedway. It's not a good idea. So sometimes I have to stop and just hope I don't lose the idea until then, even though it's probably not that good anyway if you forget it after 1 minute. But yeah, it's often like that. And then later on, when I'm at home, I can really start working on the song here in my studio. I'm recording a demo. I'm seeing, putting a few layers with the keyboard, putting some riffs on it and see how it all comes together. And then the song really develops. This was the same for North Star.
Yeah.
It was only a bit later on that I really was building the layers that you can hear now in the song.
Where do you think this comes from, Marco? I mean, I don't want to call it paranormal or angels guiding you, or because I believe in people. Everybody has a journey, right? I think, and you think somebody or something is throwing these things into your mind at these awkward or different times of your life, and all these melodies, right?
I mean, it's a psychological thing that if your mind is in a different setting, it opens up to new things. When you stay at home for weeks every day and you just don't go out, how can your mind get on new things? Because it's always in the same environment. I think that's the easiest explanation for that. And I'm thinking music every day anyway. Most of the times I have some melody running in my mind. It's often songs that I like, not necessarily ideas that I'm having for new songs, but sometimes this happens, but really in situations that just spark something new. And I think when both comes together, the brain is just working that way.
I want to give you props for, I don't want to say being original because that's kind of cliche. When I hear your music, you don't sound like the other symphonic metal bands or metal bands. You don't. I know it's you guys. I know it's Ombre. I know it's you guys. It's unique. You don't sound like the other bands at all. There's touches of this and that, of course, but how do you maintain that when you sit there in your studio and okay, I can't sound like Epica. I don't want to sound like this band or that band. How do you maintain this sound?
That is a very interesting question. It's a very good question because, I know it from the time when I was only a fan of bands back in the 90s, when I was listening to all those bands that I loved. On the outside, you look at those bands and you put them in drawers. Okay, they do that kind of style, they do that kind of style. But even in that time, the bands that I loved, Tiamat, Paradise Lost, they were changing. On every album, they tried out something new. Sometimes they got shit for it, because people would have loved them to stay how they were. But I guess that's just what a real artist does. You want to explore something. And this was what I wanted to do as well later. I was never sitting down thinking, okay, we are a symphonic metal band, so I need to sit in the studio and make symphonic metal the way it's supposed to be. That is never, ever the basis for me of writing a song.
Yeah.
Not even the word symphonic metal comes to my mind, because it is something that people put on us, because they hear metal and they hear orchestral arrangements. But that's not even how I look at us with a term like this, because I love all kinds of metal, a lot, from classic metal of the 80s. I love Judas Priest, but I also love bands like Emperor from the black metal.
Yep.
I love,
Your shirt at the
also
gates.
Creator, or At the Gates. On the last album, even on the new one, there's a riff on like a guitar riff that could have been from At the Gates. I'm picking these influences from everywhere, and I'm not thinking, okay, I need to write a symphonic metal song. I'm just, I love that way how At the Gates are writing guitar riffs. And I just have an idea like that, and I think, well, let's do a song with that. And this is actually how the whole new album came to be. It was just single ideas, and every idea was from somewhere different, and I was just putting them together. And I think when I'm developing a song further, it automatically happens that it gets these attributes that people recognize Xandria from, because it's then, of course, all the things that I like are being put into the pot of that song idea that I'm working on, while the idea itself in the very beginning might have been something specific that could have been something completely different also.
Yeah.
But if I add layers to it, like vocal melodies, and of course, when Orm sings it, it gets that distinct sound, of course, because vocals are very defining, of course, for a song, like how people perceive it and the vibe it's having. And
it's a gift.
It's super diverse, ideas come from everywhere. And somehow in the end, it sounds like Xandria, but at no point on this way, we are like, okay, we got to make a symphonic metal song, I think it's more that, like, from different kinds of metal, and I love film scores, like Hans Zimmer, John Williams, Danny Elfman, Horner, great composers of our time. And I'm a big fan of movies. And at some point I realized how much I love the music in those movies, and how much it actually sticks with us and makes the storytelling much more colorful of the movie. And when I realized that, I was like, I want to do that thing too with my songs. So metal got that extra dimension with the film scores. And in film scores, you have everything. You have the orchestra, of course, mainly. That's what people pick the symphonic from. Yeah. And then you got also all the other elements we use. There's also electronic elements in film score. Hans Zimmer is great in combining those two, electronic elements with orchestra. Just listen to the Dark Knight soundtrack, the Batman, the second movie is brilliant. And there's folk in there, the Gladiator soundtrack, for example. You have these Eastern influences, or sometimes you have Braveheart soundtrack. You got all the Celtic elements, and and John Williams, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Harry Potter. There's also those more a bit more classical. He's a little bit more traditional. He's influenced by classical composers, even more modern, like Gershwin, for example, who brought all those worlds together. And there's everything about that I love too, and I love to combine and put into Xandria songs. And I would probably call it, if someone asked me what is the style you play, I would probably say film score metal, because it's metal, and I pick something from everywhere in metal that I love, and then the big world of film score, and that's coming together in that.
Wow, it's a gift, Marco. Congrats on that. I mean, you can put. It sounds like a movie, like a film score, as you say, with a metal band on top of it. You know, that's awesome. It's a gift you have there where you can mash those two things, those two worlds together. You know, and you can hear it on the album and all that. So, there's some comments on some of your videos. Some people say, "I can't believe I'm just discovering this band." And there's another guy that said, "With Epica and Nightwish asleep, this is the band that can take over now." So what do you have to say to these fans? And are you seeing a growth in the audience? Because you guys are out there, you know. I see you guys, your name out there more often.
Mm. Yeah, it's not that easy from the inside where we are in the band to see how we look from the outside. It's a bit difficult to see if for the people it seems like okay, we are just on more corners visible, you know, like we did maybe 10 years ago. So I cannot really judge that. We do notice there's new fans, which is great, of course. It's really amazing to see that a band which under the name Xandria existed for decades already and can still excite people, you know, new people with new albums. We are not a band that just tries to to feed from our classic albums 20 years ago, you know. Yeah. It's not we don't feel like that. We, like every new album we do, also Eclipse, we still have that fire, like a band that is doing their second or third album.
It's awesome.
And just grabbing for the stars still, you know, because I still have the feeling there's still so much to reach for musically. I mean that, you know. I'm not sure if we would probably never fill a stadium on our own, but that's okay. I mean, we have
never say never. Never say never.
But I mean, it's great. We tour the world, and we have an audience everywhere, and that's so great. I mean, how many people who make music on this planet can say that? We consider ourselves very lucky for that.
For a first-time listener, for a kid with his phone, checking out Spotify and Apple Music, a first-timer, which song would you recommend if somebody's barely discovering Xandria, you know? Which song would you point to him?
Yeah, that's of course from the stuff that I said before. You probably will expect me to say that it's difficult, because it's not like that we have that one formula that you can recognize in every song. So that's difficult, especially with that new album. I think it works best as a whole album, but that's not really an answer to your question, of course. I think you need at least 2 songs, so that maybe something that I'd be given here at this point. Yeah. And maybe from the new album, if we are just talking about the new album, I don't know, then maybe the title song, because it combines a lot of different, I think, dynamics that we do. Like, it has those calm parts, it has very heavy parts, and it features a lot of different vocal styles from Orm.
Yeah.
In, you know, the title track, Eclipse, it has powerful vocals, rock vocals in the chorus. It has softer vocals and some softer ethereal parts. It has growls, and it has operatic voice, you know, operatic vocal style, all in one song. And all by a single singer also. Yeah. Which is something that you also, like, often when bands do different styles, they have different singers for that, and so great about Om that she can do all of that on her own. That is just
Awesome.
really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that song maybe, and maybe to have a little bit of a different side, maybe North Star would be a good other song, because it also it discovers a little bit different words. It's a little bit more. Maybe you have to get a little bit of fantasy movie vibe in it. It has the Celtic influences a bit. Yeah. From the new album, I would probably name those two. Of course, you can probably pick some older songs from previous albums also. That's really a difficult question.
There's too. Yeah, sorry about that. There's too many songs. There's just too many good ones. It's like trying to pick your favorite kid, your favorite baby or something.
It is
Right?
always, it's like that, yeah.
So you got a tour starting in September, on September 16th to be exact. Seven Spires, Secret Rule, and Tulip. Are you excited for this? The dumb question is, are you excited?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is probably the longest headline tour that Xandria ever did. And we are planning to put on really nice show, with some visuals and good set list with the new songs, with the old classics. I think it will make people really happy, and I'm looking forward to see that every night, to bring that to the people. And I think it's a great package also with the other bands. I think people will be really happy to see all those bands together. And of course, we are also looking forward to bring that package to North America for sure. Of course, we have that in mind. We have been touring North America every year in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So of course, that was supposed to be going somewhere, of course, that we want to come back, of course, with a new album, and we hope to do that next year.
I'm in Texas in the US, so I'll catch you sometime in Texas. Waiting for you guys, and hopefully I can go say hi to the band. And yeah, so congrats on the band, Marco. You guys have an awesome band. Not to mention Hombre, great vocalist, awesome as you know. So congrats on this project. It's awesome. So whatever you're doing, whatever you're recording, whatever messages you're getting, keep going, man. It sounds great.
Thank you so much. It means a lot for us to get this great people's feedback for what we are doing. It's heartwarming, and it's what carries us further for sure.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Marco. I'll let you live your life, and we'll see you in Texas sometime.
For sure. See you there.
So there you had Marco of XANDRIA, one of the original founding members of the symphonic metal band XANDRIA. As I told him, the first time I heard that name, I thought it was a girl, because it sounds like Alexandria, it sounds like Xandria, it sounds like a girl, right? Then I go into it, I study the music, check it out, and it's a symphonic metal band. Very, very cool band from Germany that you guys have to check out. Stream, download, support the guys and girl. Hombre, who I've had on the show before, Hombre Vorvahis, I'm sorry, last name. Great vocalist who has been there since 2022, give or take, with XANDRIA. So thank you, Marco, for your time. Don't forget, guys and girls, to support the band. The newest album, Eclipse, which will be dropping on August the 7th. It might be in your hands if you're listening to this after or on August the 7th of 2026. If you are listening to this before August 7th, you can pre-order and check out the videos that they've put out for us so far. You can find the Shannon's Home, Colors, and North Star, which are available on YouTube and other streaming formats for you guys. So anyways, for the symphonic metal band fans, you have been rocked. Don't forget to subscribe, download, share, and follow us, like us on social media. You know the drill, blah blah blah. Don't forget to keep it metal.
That metal interview.